Well, hi, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, doing what I'm always doing, trying to keep myself open so that if that answer that seems to have been so hard to grasp, to share with the public, with myself, with the people, that our eyes might become open and we might be able to see. But as I was going through these different things, as I'm always going through, ladies and gentlemen, you know the story. A thought crossed my mind that something that I remember had to do with scripture. I think it said something like, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt have no other gods." I thought about that. Thou shalt have no other gods. You know, sometimes if you pay attention and give some things some thought, you can find out that complications might not be just hard. I mean, answers might be simple. Being courageous enough to follow through sometimes is a difficult problem. So, 'cause I think about it sometimes when I think about mulatto people. People say they mix with somebody else or some other culture, like black and white. I think it come even with Barack Obama. And these people will be caught up with who do you owe allegiance to, especially when the groups, when blacks have one code of operation and whites have another and it's different, and you being a mixture of the both, what culture do you follow? Do you follow the one or the other, or how do you fit in? You know that story. People, your classmates against you sometimes, unless you got something going on that they could use and abuse for their benefit. Then you're acceptable. I think about if you care about people, if you got love and compassion for people, sometimes it's sort of like the same way. For me, look at me. I'm a black man. Now I hear black people talking about black organization, black movements all the time. Been associated with it for quite some time, and without a doubt that I care about what people might say my people. I care. I love black people. I love black people like I love myself. Now that's the gospel truth. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, I care about white people the same way. I care about white people the same way. I know that there are some white people that's pathetic, that I don't want to have anything to do with except open a door so they can see or get out. But there's some black people that I feel the same way about. And if I see a black person going through some changes, it blows me away. And I'm willing to commit. But I feel the same way if I see something happening to white people. So, if you call me out, I'm basically going to try to stand on the side that I consider as being right. That side that is absent the pain and suffering. But that's just the way some people are. I'm embarrassed, though, when I think about what white people do in America. And I'm embarrassed about when I think about what black people do in America. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt have no other gods. Now, what I'm going to refer to now is this. If you want to oppress a people, like white people oppressed black people in America throughout its history, that's actually taking the position of God. You set God aside, and you have decided that you know best. So you have put a new God, this God that you are giving your allegiance to, this God that you're empowering. Well, God says, thou shalt have no other God before me. This God allows you to oppose people and oppress people and cheat people and lie to people and deceive people. This God allows you to do that. But thou shalt have no other God before me. So you got a people that's being oppressed. And you want God, Jesus, angels, or somebody to come down, perhaps some people might want that, and straighten these oppressors out. But I would have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that what you would be surprised to find out if you don't already know it, is that if they came down and took care of the oppressors for what they violated, the violation of the thou shalt have no other God, having done that, then they would come over to you. And they would exact the same punishment or a different punishment, but equal. For the same reason, thou shalt have no other God. That didn't stop with you can't oppress people, because that's anti-God. It also means you cannot accept it. You must reject it. You must reject it. You remember in the beginning they told you that, well, even if you didn't know about the beginning, you know now that everybody dies. You know that every day you might be living, having a good time, wonderful time, but you know down that road somewhere your butt gonna die. Yes, you are going to die. And this is like almost a gift to every human being to know that you're going to die. And yet to have a rule that says, thou shalt have no other God. That means I have set up that you can live on earth as though you're in heaven. This is God saying, I have set up so that you can live on earth as though you're in heaven. Now, I believe somewhere they might have said, don't do something. Might have had something to do with eating off a tree, a certain tree, whatever your culture tells you, there was something that you weren't supposed to do, and you did it anyway. But whatever that might be, if you're going to stick to this line of thinking, it simply says that there will come a time, perhaps, if you don't be in control of life, if you do not control life, life will control you. If there will come a time when you will find that evil or another God will come at you. And if you give that God space, that God will be normalized. And what used to be taboo will now be a way of life. And everybody will be accepting this as a God-given way of life when it's all anti-God all the way. So the story about thou shalt have no other God telling you don't oppress, you don't mess over people, you don't cause pain and suffering to anybody. It also means that when you reject it. When you see it coming, you reject it. What does that mean by rejecting? That means standing up, exposing it, stating what the conditions of it is, and stating a solution to it, and resisting it all the way. And don't bend and follow the rules of it for any reason, for any reason, for living. No, if you say, well, they're gonna kill you if you then go what God, as I can see it, is say, then let them kill you. Let them kill you. You're gonna die anyway. You made the choice that since you're gonna die, you're going to die for what's right. Since you're going to die, you're gonna die for justice. Since you're going to die, you're going to die for love and compassion and caring. Since you're going to die, you're going to die for freedom and peace for all people. Since you're going to die, that's your choice. You ain't going to accept the stuff that these folks are doing. You're not going to accept this democracy in America as we know it. You're not going to accept the other ways of the world, people wherever they are, the way things are going. But stuff got to change. That's what we're saying. That's what the message of the Spirit of Life is saying to all human beings. You got to change this stuff, and you got to change it now. So we can stop blaming other folks, because as long as pain and suffering exist, everybody's responsible. Somebody might say, if one person is suffering, one person, then that means that whole population is being controlled by that one person. Now, if you flip the script and that one person wants to be satisfied, and the whole human race will do everything they possibly can to not satisfy that person, that makes the whole human race responsible. So can you imagine the whole human race, the reputation of causing pain and suffering to one individual? So there's no in between. You either stand for it all. See, now you don't know what's happening over there yet. You know what's happening right here. That's what you take care of right here. But when you take care of what's right here, as soon as you find out or hear of what needs to be taken care of right there, over there, then you focus your attention there to do the same thing there as you had done right here. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. That's what living on earth as in heaven is about. You got to maintain it. It's not just going to stay there. You're going to have Donald Trumps running all over heaven trying to take over. But they're supposed to find no one that will submit. And so it just dies out. So, what am I saying? Right now, based upon what's going on in America, as I'm talking to Americans, Republicans and MAGA and Donald Trump and all of that stuff is sick. It's very sick. What the Democrats are talking about is much more beneficial and compassion for the people than what Donald Trump and those guys are talking about. However, neither one of these satisfies what the plan is. What the plan is. So, knowing that you have no idea of what the plan truly is because of what you've been indoctrinated to, I would suggest that you spend your time at this election representing Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party and voting for them. Why? For the obvious reason. They're not trying to be a dictator the first day. They're not trying to promise to kill you and all that other stuff on the first day. That's why. But having done that, having put them in power, make sure it is known that all people in America understand that we have a goal, and that is to fix America by eliminating that which causes pain and suffering. By eliminating that which causes pain and suffering. Thank you.